exactly going to help UPSC, SPSC, NET students, and also all those who are going to prepare for any competitive examination. You must be knowing that in any competitive examination, you are bound to write some essay. You need to face interview in that which you require different opinion, you require different perspectives, different dimension about societies on major social issues, and that actually can stem out for your understanding of sociology. However, in this particular channel, we are going to reflect broadly and specifically on UPSC. So the channel is what we are going to understand. It's we will discuss that what type of syllabus we have in UPSC and what discussion should be made. How paper 1 is very much connected to paper 2. What is paper 2? What we are going to study in paper 2. So basically, if we take sociology and the syllabus of UPSC, the reason why I'm taking UPSC syllabus and not any other things, because I think if we prepare for UPSC and the syllabus, if you will see, okay, that I will show you in a while, you broadly cover most of the important thinkers. You also covered different relationship which are human beings as on individual level and also at macro level shared with different situations. So that is broadly covered in this. And we actually have to have understanding of different dimensions that is also going to be covered if we take UPSC syllabus. Okay, that really going to give a strong base for each and every subject. Why? That we are going to discuss now. So as I said that in this channel there are different we have different viewers who can take good help from this content, okay, from this channel. So now the first thing which I should say, why sociology and for whom? However, right now I've just told that these are the sections who can take help, but of course it's going to help also for those who are seeking knowledge, who are constantly engaged in critical thinking. What is actually sociology? If I have to define, you will see a different opinions, plethora of opinions. You just type sociology, somebody would say that sociology is a study of society, and then some will say that it is a scientific study of society. Some will say that we study social behavior, social interactions, we study diverse social groups. So it's really confusing. And one thing I personally believe, that what sociology offers everyone, every human species, every human being do have certain understanding of their surroundings. That makes sociology easy. At the same time, it makes it very difficult. So one of the challenge, one of the challenge which we see of society is to see that how sociology offers to us and how it's been defined. Okay, now it's fine. And as I was saying, that what actually sociology is. So I have just told that there are different thinking, but if I'll explain, the definition of sociology is very easy. Actually, you need to understand it with one example. When you're walking on the street, let's just say you are walking in the street of USA. Okay, so what you will see, or you're just walking towards your work. While you're walking, you will observe different people engage in different type of activities. You would see somebody is driving a car in a rush, somebody is crying, somebody is smiling, somebody is doing that. And while you see them, you will also have some notions about them. They belong to higher class. If somebody is traveling in limousine, in Mercedes and Land Rovers or such big luxurious car, you might probably feel that okay, this particular person is belong to rich class, or you will see beggars, or you will see any other group, but you definitely going to have some sort of assumption about these people you will see. So first of all, I think one part which I'm trying to give you by this example, it's of your micro understanding of different individuals that you will see. Okay, so if you just climb up to some building, you just climb up and you go to the highest floor, the top of that building, what you will see, if you will see down, you will no longer going to see different faces. You're not going to see people around. You're not going to understand that what they are background, because you'll not be able to see anyone. So larger things you will see, and what you are going to see in that, of course, you are going to see some sort of patterns. You will see structures. Okay, so sociology actually gives us understanding of micro perspectives, of micro things, and also things which we see at larger. The patterns of different society, and on that patterns, every society works. If I have to give, a etymological understanding of sociology, it talks about that the understanding of our social world needs to be done on the basis of scientific analysis. It has to be rational. And when I'm saying it has to be scientific and rational, that means that whatsoever you are making theory, it should have some scientific base. You must have data to prove that. It cannot be because you feel that in today's scenario, marriage system in India is disintegrating, it's like declining. You can't simply say on individual experiences. Okay, let me just give you a more example on that. My particular experience, for instance, if I say that I believe there's high number of dropout rates in India, or let me be more specific, in urban settings. So if I say that me, my cousin, and some neighbors, we are not going to school anymore, so these are, we don't feel like. Sociology is not interested in that. But if this number increased to 50%, let's just say, then it's a matter of a problem to a sociologist. It cannot be that 50% population of any country is not studying, or there is a high rate of dropouts. If I say that I am not getting enough nutrition, so maybe I have some particular personal reason for that. But if I say that 70 to 80% females have low level of nutrients in values, then it's a problem. This is why Stuart Mills have said that actually we need to think, we need to have understanding of imagination. The Sociological Imagination is a book in which he is saying that there is a difference between our personal issues and our public issues. Let's say I say that because of some war-like situation in India, for instance, what is happening in Ukraine and in Russia. So I would say that now I'm not let's just say that now the employment opportunities in India get decreased. And if it is somehow related with the war which is happening in Russia, and because of that, my job is now being limited and there is so much of competition, it cannot be a problem of mine individually. So there is a problem associated from a macro level. So personal troubles, more or large, is associated with public issues. On the contrary, people often say that you are being lazy, you do not want to work, and maybe females are less ambitious. If a common sense understanding one would apply, it is all correct. There is no problem in that. But this is what Stuart Mills is saying, that we need to have sociological imagination. Zygmunt Bauman is another, I would say, philosopher. I have a problem to say and to count or to give a title of sociologist, because for me, a person who is studying sociology, a person who is studying society, they are a philosopher, they are sociological, sociologists, they are political scientists, they are studying everything. And today I'm going to also explain that why actually whosoever is studying sociology, they are going to have glimpse and very good understanding of all the other academics or disciplines of the subject. So as Zygmunt Bauman is saying that we need to think sociologically. Thinking sociologically means that if you are think that I'm speaking really nice, I have a good subject matter, I look nice, I have a good principles, I'm not a product of just one day. Okay, so what made me today what I am? That actually we need to think in a sociological manner. That is sociology, to see things beyond its appearance. So at appearance, it's believed that females are less ambitious. But why are like that? If we take up history, there are myriad of examples I can give. So when French Revolution were happening and the Declaration of Rights were being written down, Okay, so there was a particular group who were saying that we must have liberty, equality, fraternity, and whatnot. So there was a female Olympian who said that it should be the declaration rights of men and women. Okay, so we need to think back to understand current scenario. That is what actually I would say largely a sociology is, to think critically, to think what we cannot see from a common man understanding. Okay, so that is what make us critical, to have critical understanding. And why I'm saying that sociology is actually everything. Recently, there is a mathematician of US who won some very renowned prize for mathematics, for his achievements. He says that actually mathematics help him to become critical. He knows that there are some problems, and to solve that problem, he need to apply different methods, different formulas, different perspectives. That is what actually sociology is also doing. So sociology is not at all any rigid type of subject. It actually gives you, it's an approach. The right term, it's a perspective to see things around us, not in a regular state manner, but with dimensions. Okay, so this is what I would say that sociology is this. So I think it gives a brief understanding of the subject, what sociology is. And as I said that I would be taking UPSC syllabus, and I would be like, every week, whenever I'm going to make this video, I'm going to take one topic, and then I would be telling you a brief outline of that particular topic. Okay, so that is going to give a foundation to your preparation. And yes, indeed, this particular channel is going to help, as I said earlier, while starting this lecture, that those who are preparing for UPSC, broadly that's going to help them. And those who wants to write a good essay in essay writing, and if there is some ethical things which is involved in almost for every part of competitive examination, this channel is also going to help them too. So let's just go on with now the lecture. As I said that there is one very frequently asked question among UPSC students or aspirants, I would say, that why one should take sociology. I think the answer is, let me just show you the planner, and maybe that will help you to understand it better. So this is the planner which I give, and I ask my aspirants and any students who are preparing for any competitive examination. As again I said, that you need to understand that, for instance, there's one particular topic in sociology paper 1, that scope, which discuss scope and sociology relationship with other social sciences. So if I tell you this, scope of sociology, as I said, that it's try to understand what we need to study in sociology. As I said, that it study micro and macro perspectives or macro phenomenon. Okay, so we need to understand social institutions. So what is social institutions? It can be healthcare, your industries, religion, politics, economical institution, your culture, diverse culture, and whatnot. Sociologists so far have not left any area in which they have not conducted their research, because everything is a part and interest to sociologists. Okay, it has a clear-cut, knitted interdependence with other, not only with the social sciences subject, but also with physics, with natural science subjects, chemistry and all. So whom we are making exploration, whom we are doing experimentation, and who are the people who are doing these experiments. I mean, gravity is gravity. Who has given that? Right? We need to understand all this. Why Galileo has have to, after even saying that it is actually the earth which revolves and not sun, at that point of time, why it was being rejected by church, and why the Aristotle thinking and understanding was actually dominated Western society and everywhere. So we ask such questions, right? So it is related with everything, almost everything. When Socrates is talking about in Athens about the democracy, that justice is about not only for majority people, but it's also about minority. And when he executed, and when he said that it's good to take a death instead of going and escaping away. And then the Plato, who had actually famous his theories in his books, in his various books. One of the books is Republic. Or we have Immanuel Kant, or we have Albertus Magnus. These thinkers are just actually talking about the societies, which is actually has based the understanding of today's world. So as I said, that the subject matter is actually related with everything. So the political institution right now, if we talk about democracy, or if we talk about different types of governments, direct democracy, indirect democracy, we have presidential form of government, we have parliamentary form of government, how and where this institution have evolved. So sociology answers each and every parameters of such questions, because it is engaged in critical thinking, right? So as I said, you need to see that sociology is very much related with history. So when you are, for instance, you are writing an essay, it is always advisable that you must write a historical perspective of that particular topic. Let's just say if a question comes on gender empowerment, so you must know the history of female. Why and how feminism have come up in the world? What is the nature of patriarchy? If patriarchy is the reality, so what is matriarchal societies, which we see? If patriarchy and matriarchy, is other societies, which is the reality of society, so what about tribal people? What about indigenous people who do not believe in institution of marriage and they are really very happy? I mean, there is no power game, right? So we do have thinkers we have Edward Kellett, we have George Eliot Howard, we have Herbert Spencer. So there's a very famous thing, and which actually UPSC also has asked, that sociology without history is fruitless, and history without sociology is fruitless. This is one of the questions which have came up, and I will show you in a while also. For example, we have Herbert Spencer. Herbert Spencer is a biologist, but he's widely read, in sociology, because he had taken up the theory of Charles Darwin, evolution of society. Then we have Auguste Comte, who is being considered as founding father of sociology, and all these thinkers who have related and who have seen society from a historical perspective. And then we have the relationship with economics. If I'll say about Adam Smith, if I'll say about Karl Marx theory is so famous, and his contribution is being actually evaluated on the contribution of Albert Einstein. Emile Durkheim, Simmel. Today, the basis of postmodern society is capitalism. Capitalism is actually a base of other ideology like communalism, socialism, and we are. I mean, still, I think that who Karl Marx was he economist, was he sociologist, was he political philosopher, who he was. So try to see things from a broader perspective. Do not limit your thinking. This is one of the issues which I personally believe it's going on. That people think that if you are reading history, so these are the books which is going to be enough, and let's just complete the year's paper. The only one thing which can help you to crack this exam is to have multidisciplinary approach. You need to have interconnection, and that's what sociology is doing. So why not to take up, a subject which is giving you whatever you're going to prepare? If you're taking political science, like in GS, if you're taking history, if you're taking economics, already you have a good understanding in your examination. Of course, those who are preparing for any, for SPSC or for UPSC or for NET, all these thinkers, this perspective become really important for all of us, right? So we also have a time limitation. The syllabus of, sociology is it's not that broad, it's narrow. And it become narrow because it has ability to connect itself with other disciplines. Okay, so this is what I would say. Then sociology is very much related with political science. We have, Thomas Hobbes. We have, we have various political scientists who have given social contract theories, right? So Rousseau, Locke, separation of powers, how it has come up. Who has spoke about this? Political revolutions, we need to read out. Okay, why Napoleon, what he was doing during French Revolution? Why, there was we all know that in French there was a 3-class system. In the first there was this clergy people, this noble people, and then there was this king, monarch, and then in the third stage there are big merchants and service providers and everyone clubbed together, and then there is a clash between these 3 classes that we have to understand, and that is being covered in sociology and political science, so as with anthropology and psychology and with other subjects too. Okay, so if I just talk about And I think I have just given the conceptual understanding of the discipline, that what sociology is. Okay, so let me just understand outcome of the subject. I have already told you that it is critical in nature. It helps you to formulate various perspectives. You can have opinion. So what basically, when you face any interview, your panelists are going to ask you some question which is related to your environment in which you are living. It can be of international interest, it can be of national interest. So basically they are going, how you are going to speak about that. So when you are speaking any answer, you should refer to thinkers. Even if you are saying that you personally believe that in rural development female has to have larger say, you need to say it with facts. And how that facts can come up, you need to refer to the studies, to the reports of of different departments, different governmental departments. And for that you must have good understanding. You must read. You have to increase knowledge base. When you are increasing knowledge base, you need to correlate the subject matter, and in this way sociology becomes integral. The paper 2 which you will see, after having understanding of paper 1, you just need to apply your current affairs to that section. Last year 2 questions have come up on migration, on the pandemic situation, what had happened to the migrant laborers. Everyone knew that, but then you need to think it in a sociological manner. So half of your preparation for your UPSC becomes so easy. Paper 2 is all about application of current affairs in sociological manner. That's it. Essay, show me any essay of any year in UPSC and I can show you the relevance of sociology in that topic. Take any essay, some questions directly coming out of sociology, like what are the different, how the culture and civilization or technology, development, gender, none, not a single topic can be, cannot be covered, I would say, up is beyond the syllabus or the scope of sociology. If it is helping you in paper, essay paper, 250 marks, so I would say, so take essay 250, paper 1, again it will help you in 250 words, like I mean that 250 marks, and then GS paper 1, I said paper 2, paper 3, you will definitely going to have some questions which you need to see, show the impact and the relevance on society. And paper 4 completely, it's about philosopher, ethics, situational. You get case studies that in particular situation what you will do. So in that, what you have to do, you have to visualize yourself in that situation. So if you have a diverse understanding of vulnerable sections of society, that actually sociology gives you, that actually sociology offers you, that okay, rural settings in India, rural people behaves in this manner, urban people behave in this manner, social integration is really high among the rurals and it is low in urban societies, and the tribal people have a different culture, so they have a problem of isolation. So everything you have already been studied in sociology while covering the paper 1 and paper 2. So you will have different perspectives. You can actually can create empathy for these people, and then you can rightly put yourself in different situation and you can answer that. So ethics, and then your interview again is 250 words, 250 marks. And also, so I think, and your optional. So if I just talk in this manner, and if I'll be more specific, let me just count. Almost everything is involved in sociology. Okay, so let's just say essay 250, paper 1 250, PS1, I said 2, 3, something it will definitely going to help. If not completely, you have to add dimension with related to any policies, any laws which have come with respect to, in fact, this year, a question which came in political science and also I think in anthropology or in sociology, it was almost same. Okay. 250, paper 4, 250, right? So if you take is optional 1, optional 2, paper 1 and paper 2, and then it's like interview. So you can see yourself that everywhere it is going to help you. Okay, so you can just calculation, you must be knowing that how much is this. So let's just say that it is very much relevant for your UPSC preparation. So why entering into the subject is difficult? Because you people have preconceived notion, okay, and you sometimes you follow blindly what other people say, that you should take psychology only if you are interested. And sometimes, one thing I would say, that whensoever you take any optional, this is not a static subject. You have not been studying from class 1, so it will take a while. This is a new subject for you. How doesn't matter how easy it seems to you. Doesn't matter what you believe, that marriage is this, religion is this, politics is this. Does not matter. You need to have a sociological understanding. That is why UPSC aspirants and others, specifically UPSC aspirants, do good in paper 1 and do not really good in paper 2, because they just write a very generic answer on paper 2. For example, if a caste and politics come, everyone knows that, but they do not write in a sociological manner. And sociological manner can only come if you are referring to sociologists, thinkers, philosophers, and then you are putting it up. Okay, so take that. So there are various myths, facts I've just told, that people say it's very easy and they take it. No, it's not that easy. You need to put efforts. You need to understand concepts. Yes, after understanding concept, and I can guarantee, I'll just show the syllabus. After that, after your topic 4, it's become really easy. But it depends on how much, in how much efforts also you are putting it up. So the book list, which I would say for sociology people, just take one book, Principles of Sociology with an Introduction to Sociological Thought. C.N. Shankar Rao, and the PDF material actually really helps to understand different concepts. And paper 2, I would say Indian Society, Continuity and Change, Huma Hassan, and then the reference material by me. So this is the syllabus, and I'm not going to tell you each and everything on the syllabus, but that we are going to discuss in coming lectures. For example, I would be covering sociology, the discipline, so what needs to be done, how you need to cover modernity and social changes in Europe, and the emergence of sociology. For example, this scope of subject and comparison, relationship with the social other sciences. So I would be telling you with this sort of planner. Okay, so here you must understand that what are the objectives to understand. For example, for this particular topic, okay, scope of the subject and comparison with other social sciences. What you have to do is that you need to see that what is the scope of subject, that we need to analyze sociology from a synthetic school. That is, it says that sociology needs to have a broader scope. So we must study everything, because in society everything includes. So we should understand what is macro and micro understanding of social institutions. We need to similarities between sociology and other subjects, differences and complementary. And I would also tell you about answer writing, because you need to understand, guys, that it is 180 minutes and there will be a 20 question. So let's just say one question 9 minutes. You really have to be mechanical, and that mechanical comes once you have written out the notes. After that notes, have a confidence, it is all right, it's everything, it's here on your what you think you will become. Definitely, that's what Gautam Buddha has also said, and it is true. Yes, you need to have notes. This is you will see in coming videos of mine that lot many emphasis I would give on note making. And then also you need to, after notes, revision, and then answer writing thing. These 3 things will fetch you a rank in any competitive examination, guys. Okay, so what and how you are making notes, that I will discuss in some of the videos, how to do a revision and what is the approach of answer writing things. So one thing I would say, take a thinker of every topic and learn, learn that, just for example, you have taken George Simmel. So George Simmel, learn 1 or 2, 3 books and his theme. Okay, just see the theme which he's talking about. What is the theme he says? What is his argument? And this argument should not be more than 5 lines, because it is the race is between 150 words and 250 words. So for 150 words you will get 1 and 2 page, and for 250 1, 2, 3. कितनी भी आपके पास नॉलेज होती है, कितने भी आपको इंफॉर्मेशन है, ओके, वो आप किस तरीके से 150 वर्ड्स में और 250 वर्ड्स में लिख पाते हो, वो मैटर करता है. ओके, तो मैं यही बोलूंगी कि सोशियोलॉजी एक ऐसा सब्जेक्ट है जो आप ऐसे पर जिसको लेने के बाद आपको हर एक फील्ड में हेल्प करेगा, लेकिन वो बहुत सिस्टमैटिक अप्रोच होना चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि आपने मार्केट में जो भी नोट्स अवेलेबल है, जितनी वीडियोस अवेलेबल है, जितना बुक मटेरियल अवेलेबल है, उन सबको आप पढ़ रहे हैं और समझ कुछ आ नहीं रहा है और आपको लगता है कि यार ये तो मेरे लिए हेल्पफुल नहीं है। तो कुछ अप्रोचेज है जो बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट रहते हैं। थिंकर्स को आपने कैसे पढ़ा है? फॉर इंस्टेंस 250 वर्ड्स या 250 पेजेस का आपके पास कोई बुक है, आपको उस बुक का समरी एक पेज में करना आना चाहिए और आपके पास जब आप ये इसको बुक को रेफर करें तो आप 2 लाइन में एक्सप्लेन कर दें कि एक्चुअली दिस इज व्हाट दिस थिंकर इज सेइंग इन दिस पर्टिकुलर बुक। क्योंकि आपको 250 250 वर्ड में और 150 वर्ड्स में ही अपने आंसर को शो करना है। तो आप प्लेटो की रिपब्लिक अगर आप बोल रहे हैं, या इमरान खान का द एज ऑफ रीजन के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, या एरिस्टोटल की आप एंथ्रोपोलॉजी के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, या कार्ल मार्क्स का कम्युनिस्ट कम्युनिस्ट मैनिफेस्टो के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं आप, या प्रोटेस्टेंट एथिक ऑफ कैपिटलिज्म की बात कर रहे हैं, या आप सिगमंड फ्रेड का ओरिजिन ऑफ रिलीजन की बात कर रहे हैं, एलिमेंट्री फॉर्म ऑफ रिलीजियस लाइफ ऑफ इमाल्डर खान, आपको एक लाइन में उनको समझाना है। ओके, जैसे कि कार्ल मार्क्स का कहना है, कार्ल मार्क्स की पूरी थ्योरी ही यही है कि समाज में लड़ाई है। लड़ाई किस चीज की है? क्लैश ऑफ इंटरेस्ट। मेरा और आपका इंटरेस्ट अलग है। तो एक का इंटरेस्ट क्या है? डोमिनेटिंग है। एक जो है कार्ल मार्क्स का कहना है कि वो सुपीरियर है। वो सुपीरियर क्यों है? क्योंकि उसके पास लैंड है, प्राइवेट ओनर है वो किसी लैंड का, और उस ओनर में ये लोग काम करते हैं। तो जब आप काम कर रहे हैं, आप अपनी लेबर सेल कर रहे हैं और इसके वजह से वो आपको हेल्प करता है, पैसे देता है, आप उनके ऊपर डिपेंडेंट हो जाते हैं और एक्सप्लॉइटेटिव नेचर है। तो कार्ल मार्क्स की थ्योरी आपको सिर्फ और सिर्फ 2-3 लाइन में बोलना है और एक वर्ड में बोला जाए तो क्या है? इट्स अ कन्फ्लिक्ट। एक टर्म है, दैट इज कन्फ्लिक्ट। यही पूरी थ्योरी है कार्ल मार्क्स की कि यहाँ पे इंटरेस्ट डिफरेंट है और जो लोग कहते हैं इक्वालिटेरियन इक्वालिटी, इक्वालिटी इज अ मिथ। ऐसा कोई समाज ही नहीं हो सकता जो कि इक्वल हो। So this is what I would say. And one thing, you should see the previous year question papers. So for example, one question which actually come in 2021 in UPSC, from the viewpoint of growing importance of multidisciplinarity, how do you relate sociology to other social sciences? यही एक्चुअली चाहिए यूपीएससी को क्रैक करने के लिए। तो ये क्वेश्चन शो करता है रेलेवेंस को, आपको इस टॉपिक पे कैसे पढ़ना है। दूसरा क्वेश्चन 2017 में आया। अब आप इसका पैटर्न देखिए, और एक बहुत ही फेमस फिलोसोफर रहे हैं जो हमारे यहाँ आते थे और काफी उनका लेक्चर हमने सुना है अपने कॉलेज टाइम में। ही सेड दैट नेवर डाउट पैटर्न। पैटर्न को समझने की कोशिश करिए और प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन जो है आपको पैटर्न ही समझाता है। डिस्कस द चेंजिंग इक्वेशन ऑफ डिसिप्लिन ऑफ सोशियोलॉजी विद अदर सोशल साइंसेस। 2017 में ये क्वेश्चन पूछा गया और यहाँ पे भी 21 में पूछा गया। आपसे पूछा जा रहा है कि आप अपना व्यू पॉइंट दीजिए कि आजकल जो इंटरडिसिप्लिनरिटी और मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरिटी, इसका मतलब क्या होता है कि आप सोशियोलॉजी को पॉलिटिकल साइंस से रिलेट कर रहे हैं, इकोनॉमिक्स से रिलेट कर रहे हैं, आप रिलीजन से रिलेट कर रहे हैं, आप सोशल मैरिज फैमिली के इंस्टीट्यूशन से रिलेट कर रहे हैं, आप स्टेट के, आप इसको जोड़ के समझ रहे हैं। तो आपको कैसा लगता है कि सोशियोलॉजी सोशल साइंसेस से कितना इंपॉर्टेंट है? सोशियोलॉजी कुछ रेलेवेंट है भी कि नहीं? दूसरा क्वेश्चन आप देखो 2017 में, डिस्कस द चेंजिंग इक्वेशन ऑफ डिसिप्लिन ऑफ सोशियोलॉजी विद अदर सोशल साइंसेस। तो सोशियोलॉजी का इक्वेशन दूसरे सोशल साइंसेस से कैसे डिफरेंट है, यहाँ पे ये क्वेश्चन पूछा जा रहा है। अब 2013 में इट वाज सोशियोलॉजी एंड एंथ्रोपोलॉजी, कंपेयर एंड कंट्रास्ट, एंड इट इज नाउ सोशियोलॉजी विद हिस्ट्री। So this is what I would say, that you must understand. I mean, in coming lectures we are going to discuss on the syllabus, but yes, this is the orientation to the subject sociology, and in coming days I will make and try to make a good concise videos on the syllabus of UPSC, which is going to be helpful in other competitive examinations. For example, net का और भी दूसरे competitive examination है, उसमें भी I'll try to show that कितना relevant है ये subject. So thank you so much, and now I am going and ending this class. Thank you so much.